30 BC, a single shipment of gold just arrived in Rome. So large, it cut interest rates in half overnight. A 33-year-old man was responsible for that shipment. He had just won a war. He had just buried his enemies. And with one decision, Augustus Caesar was about to do something no human being had ever done before or since. He was about to make himself richer than any person who would ever live. 2,000 years later, a man sitting in a Seattle garage types the last line of a business plan and hits print. He has $300,000 from his parents, a table made of a door, and an idea so simple it sounds like a joke. That man was Jeff Bezos. Sell books on the internet. One of these men will become the face of wealth for an entire generation. The other will make him look like he's working class. Who was actually the richest human being in the history of civilization? You might want to see this.
Egypt wasn't a country to Augustus Caesar. It was a checking account, the largest one in human history. And in 30 BC, he made his first withdrawal. The Ptolemaic treasury, accumulated over 3 centuries of pharaohs, landed in Rome in a single convoy. Historians estimate the haul was so massive that it represented more gold than the entire Roman economy had seen in a generation. And Egypt wasn't just the gold. Egypt was the Nile, the grain, the food supply of the entire Mediterranean world. Every ship that left Alexandria with wheat, that was his ship. The taxes from Cairo to the coast, his. The harvests, the markets, the merchants who needed to eat, all of it flowed to one man. So what was he actually worth? Economists at Stanford ran the numbers.
At his peak, Augustus personally controlled wealth equivalent to between $4.6 and $5.8 trillion in today's dollars. Not billion, trillion. Here's the number that should make you think. Jeff Bezos, the man the internet calls the richest person alive, is worth over $220 billion. Do you see the gap? $220 billion versus $5 trillion. That's not even the same sport. To match Augustus, Bezos would need to be richer than he currently is 25 times over. He could buy Amazon back from himself, do it again, and still have change. Augustus personally controlled nearly 20% of the entire Roman Empire's economic output. The closest modern equivalent? Imagine one single person owning every company in the S&P 500, not investing in them, owning them, all of them, simultaneously. That was just another Tuesday. Winner? Augustus Caesar. The numbers aren't even close. But raw wealth only tells you what a man had, not what he controlled. Let's talk about power. A single currency, a single legal system, an army that answered to him alone. Nearly a fifth of the entire human race living inside a system built by one man, born into it, no way out. Now think about what that actually means on any given morning. A merchant in London wakes up and uses Roman coins, minted with Augustus's face. A judge in Cairo opens a case using Roman law, written under Augustus. A soldier in Syria eats breakfast, paid from Augustus's personal treasury. They will never meet this man, but every single day of their lives runs through him. Now, Jeff Bezos. When was the last time you went 24 hours without touching something Bezos built? Think about it. The show you watched last night, Prime Video. The website that didn't crash when 1 million people hit it at once, running on AWS. The groceries in your fridge, Whole Foods. The voice that told you the weather this morning, Alexa. AWS alone powers nearly 30% of all cloud computing on Earth. That means almost a third of the entire internet. Hospitals, governments, banks, militaries, runs on Amazon machines.
Here's what makes Bezos' empire different from every ruler in history. Augustus' subjects had no choice. Bezos's do. And over 220 million of them pay him every single year, voluntarily, for the privilege of living inside his system. An empire held together by force depends on the force never stopping. An empire held together by convenience? That one is almost impossible to leave. Winner?
Jeff Bezos. Augustus ruled by force. Bezos rules by choice. One of those empires is much harder to leave. But empires need infrastructure. Let's see what each of them actually built.
In the 1st century AD, Roman engineers built a road through Britain so straight it looks like it was drawn with a ruler. That road still exists. The highway that runs on top of it carries traffic every single day. Bezos has warehouses that won't survive the next software update. When Augustus came to power, Rome was a city of timber and clay, crowded, filthy, constantly burning. He looked at it and made a decision. He would rebuild every single thing. Not because Rome needed it, because he needed Rome to look like him. Over his 44-year reign, Augustus rebuilt 82 temples. He restored every major aqueduct in the city. He built forums, theaters, monuments, all carved from marble quarried specifically for his projects. The Pantheon, still standing today, still in continuous use, was built under his reign. 2,000 years. The building has been a temple, a church, a tourist attraction, and an architectural blueprint for half the capitals of the Western world.
Now, Amazon's infrastructure. It is, without question, the largest private logistics network ever built. Over 1,000 facilities worldwide, more than 6 billion packages delivered in 2024 alone, AWS data centers on 6 continents, running systems so critical that when one goes offline, you feel it on your phone within minutes. Which would you rather bet on surviving the next 500 years? A marble temple engineered to stand for millennia? Or an Amazon warehouse already scheduled for its 3rd renovation? Roman infrastructure was built to last forever. Amazon infrastructure is built to be replaced. That's not a criticism, that's the design philosophy. AWS Gen 5 makes Gen 4 obsolete on purpose. The fulfillment center of 2015 is already ancient history. In 500 years, there will be no Amazon warehouse standing anywhere on Earth. But somewhere under the asphalt of a European highway, there will still be a Roman road. Winner? Augustus Caesar. Bezos built to scale. Augustus built to last. 2,000 years later, only one of them was right. Both men had more money than they could spend in a lifetime. What they chose to do with it says everything. In 2021, Jeff Bezos flew to space. 10 minutes, 66 miles up. A cowboy hat on the way down. He called it the best day ever. It cost him roughly $5 billion to get there. Augustus had a different answer to the same question. He spent it on the people, on temples they could enter, roads they could walk, grain they could eat. Was it generosity? Maybe. Was it strategy? Absolutely. Augustus understood something that no billionaire has fully replicated. If you build things people use every single day, they will never forget you. Marble lasts. Gratitude lasts longer. Now, back to Bezos. In 2023, a yacht arrived at a shipyard in the Netherlands. Not just an impressive yacht, the largest private sailing vessel ever constructed. 417 feet long, 3 masts, a mermaid figurehead on the bow. Cost? $500 million. Then he built a second, smaller yacht just to carry the helicopter that doesn't fit on the first one. Annual operating cost for both? Around $25 to $30 million every year. And then there's space. Bezos has poured an estimated $10 to $20 billion of his personal fortune into Blue Origin. Not Amazon money, his money. Around $1 billion per year, every year, pointed at the sky. Augustus spent to leave something behind, monuments that would outlast any man. Bezos spends to reach something ahead, frontiers that no man has touched yet. Winner? Jeff Bezos. Augustus bought the past. Bezos is buying the future. In the 21st century, that's the boulder bet. 4 rounds down, 2 wins for Bezos. 1 round left, and it's the one that neither money nor power can buy. 2,000 years is a long time to still be relevant. Augustus Caesar hasn't missed a year. His name is still on the calendar. His roads are still under the asphalt. His idea of what a government should look like is still being debated in parliaments that don't even know they're quoting him. He didn't just rule an empire, he wrote the code that civilizations still run on. Now, what does Jeff Bezos leave behind?
he leaves behind a shift in human psychology. Before Amazon, you waited, drove to a store, called a catalog, planned days ahead. After Amazon, waiting became offensive. 2 days felt slow. Same day became the norm. 1 hour, an expectation.
That's not a company. That's a rewiring of human expectation. Every logistics company on Earth is racing to match a standard Bezos set from a garage in Seattle. The entire cloud infrastructure industry exists inside a category AWS invented. The world Bezos created is still taking shape. Augustus defined how civilizations are built. Bezos changed how 8 billion people live inside them. One rewrote the rules, the other rewrote the habits, and habits are harder to change than rules. Winner, Jeff Bezos. Augustus built the foundation. Bezos moved in. The millennium goes to Rome. The world goes to Bezos.
Final score, Jeff Bezos, 3 rounds. Augustus Caesar, 2. Bezos wins the future. His empire chose him. His infrastructure still grows. His legacy is still being written in real time, in server farms, in orbit, in the way you feel when a package takes 1 day instead of 3. But let's be honest about what Augustus walked away with. He inherited a world on fire, civil wars, a dying republic, armies loyal to generals, not to states, a Rome that had been tearing itself apart for a century, and he put it back together, marble by marble, law by law, road by road. He built a system so durable that it took 400 years to fall, and even then, it never fully disappeared. Maybe you still speak a language shaped by his empire. Maybe you live under laws his lawyers drafted. The roads under your feet, some of them were his. Augustus wins the history books. Bezos wins the scorecard. Bezos wins the world. Perhaps the real question isn't who was richer. The real question is, if you could choose, which kind of legacy would you want to leave behind? Leave your answer in the comments.